this is Dr. T. Varlakshmi discussing you about the methods and sources of raising the capital by the business activities as a part of business economics and financial analysis. See, the sources of finance means various methods and mechanisms to get the funds for the business activities. So based on the time period, based on the ownership, and based on the sources generation, it is categorized into three elements. That is on the basis of the time period, ownership, and sources of generation. So mostly one thing will be repeats and another thing. That means, so based on the time period and the ownership sources, combinedly it might be there and might be differentiated. Let us say on the basis of the time period, which means are they requiring that funds for the short run time period. So generally the short run time period will be from 1 day to 365 days. That means once a business person is taking that funds, he has to repay that funds within 1 year time period of slot. That is, he has to repay that funds within 1 year means he can repay either 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 1 month, but not more than 365 days. That in that basis, if any business person avails the funds, that funds will be called as the short-term funds. Then, if he has taken those funds for the maturity time period of 1 to 5 years, then that funds will be called as the medium term funds. More than 5 years will be called as the long term funds. So if we see this, these are all here. It is based on the maturity period of the funds acquiring by the organization. That is the main basis for the understanding of short term, medium term, and long term activities. So in the short term period, so generally they can get the trade credits. For example, if the business is going to be purchasing the raw material, for that one they need not to spend the fund also on credit basis. If they takes, that is bills, they can write the bills and they can take the raw material used for the business activities. That is called as the trade credits. And factoring, if they are going for the exports and imports, then based on the order received by that organization, some of the organizations will provide the financial assistance or the advance payment by that order person is called as the factoring, and the finance based on that factoring activities is called as the factoring facility to the business activities, or the short-term loans or the overdraft facility to the business providing by the banks. And sometimes if that business wants the funds, they doesn't have the funds with them. Let us say in these COVID situations, this AstraZeneca company wants to produce the maximum vaccines. So for that one, let us say they require 1 crore of the funds which they can repay within 6 months. Means this for this 1 crore funds, they can write the promissory notes in the form of these bills. That bill worth the minimum of 1 lakh, but that is their wish. So it may be the multiples of 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs are also. Let us say they are going to be writing the 1 lakh worth of the promissory notes. So to get each promissory note price is 1 lakh, means to get this 1 crore, they need to issue 100 number of bills. 100 number of bills. By getting the approval from the RBI, they can sell to the investors through the banks or through the stock exchanges like NSE and BSE. They will sell in the market. Like investors like me has invested into that business, and I have acquired certain bills. That bills I have purchased, and that too they are all on discount basis. So let us say these bills are all going to be providing a 10% discount rate, which means 10% on 1 lakh is 10,000 rupees. So after lessing this 10,000, 90,000 if I invest, after 6 months, I'll get a return of 1 lakh rupees. That is the beneficiary to the investors. So instead of getting on interest basis by providing the discount rate, that organizations are all easily raising the funds for the short-term purposes. That promissory notes or that bills will be called as the commercial papers. The medium term loans will be arranging by the loans from the banks. Anyhow, the banks will provide the short term loans, medium term loans, as well as the long term loans. And some of the public deposits more than 1 year basis in the form of the bonds, the company can issue the bonds or the promissory notes, they can raise the fund from the public, and the loans from financial institutions like Muthoot Financial Corporations, insurance companies, leasing, hire purchasing, venture capital. If that organizations are all providing the financial activities to the financial support to the organizations, they are all will be called as the medium term financial support. Apart from that one, if they are up to the ending, starting to the ending, if their investments are all there and the long term perpetuality is there, the investment activity, then that sources of the investments will be called as the equity shares, retained shares, preference shares, debentures, or the bank's loans, and the loan from the financial institutions like other institutions, leasing, venture capitaling, that institutions is called as the long-term sources of the finance. So in the due course in this video, we'll have the discussion on what is the equity, preference, debentures, and retained earnings, etc. Next thing is on the basis of ownership. Again, here the equity and the retainings will be get in the form of these ownership funds, which is called as the equity funds. So the funds which is going to be investing by the owner. So here, if they are getting in the form of the owner or the ownership form or the equity form, then whatever the risk occurs to the business is going to be taken care by these equity shareholders. Even if the business get the profits or the losses, both responsibility is vested with equity holder. But the investor who invests and expects the profits are only, but nowhere related to the losses of the organization, that investors will be called as the debt holders. Debt holders. So that's based on ownership. It is divided into equity capital or the debt capital. So generally, equity and the retained capital will be comes under the ownership capital and the preference shares capital also. Equity includes equity shares and the preference shares, whereas the debentures, loan from the banks, loan from the financial institutions, public deposits, leasing, hire purchasing, commercial papers. So whatever it is, either the short term or the medium term or the long term, but they are taken on interest rate payable basis, that funds will be called as the debt capital. If they have taken on a dividend payment basis, then that capital will be called as the equity capital. So that's why equity shareholders will mostly expect the dividend as the return for them, whereas the debt holder will expect the interest rate as the return for them as at fixed intervals. The next thing is on the basis of sources of generation, that is from the internal activities of the organization. If they get that one, that will be called as internal sources. From the external sources, if they are getting, then that will be called as the out of the business. If they get that one, that will be called as the external sources. Internal sources like equity shares, retained earnings, etc. Whereas in the external sources like financial institutions, loan from the banks, preference shares, public deposits, debentures, leasing finance, commercial finance, trading credits, factoring, etc. will be comes under the external sources of this business activities. So most of the long-term finance is going to be getting in the form of these equity share capital. So equity share is the long-term financial source for any company, which means the investor will invest into the organization which is going to be bearing the risk and return enjoyability, which is equivalent to the owner of the organization. Let us say an organization requires the 100 crores of the capital, and each it is going to be divided into sub units, means that is mandatory. If it is a limited liability company, it is mandatorily has to divide the capital into equal parts. So one unit worth is 100 rupees, means they require the number of shares are 1 crore. So each share value is 100 rupees, means they require the number of shares of 1 crore number of shares. So in this one 1 crore number of shares, owner has taken 20 lakhs of the shares. So 20 lakhs of the shares means he is going to be investing 20 crores of that one owner. The remaining 20 lakhs equivalent to the owner, the another investors is also ready to take the risk of that business, then that will be called as the equity shares. And 40 lakhs they have issued 40 lakhs number of shares and 20 crores 40 crores total amount is balanced. Remaining 60 lakhs of the shares and the remaining 60 lakhs of the shares and 40 lakhs of the shares they have issued to the debenture shareholders means they will pay the interest to them. They will pay the interest to them and they won't pay the any profits or they need not to take the any losses also. That will be called as debenture shareholders. Remaining 20 crores if they are giving the preference shareholders means they will get the profits and the risk too, but limited only. So let us say the preference shareholders, anyhow, the preference shareholders will discuss in the later, but equivalent to the person who is investing into the business activities is called as the equity shareholders. So they can be sell with a face value, book value, or par value. So if that share value is 100 rupees, if they are selling with the same 100 rupees, then it is called as selling off with face value. Or if they are selling it for 90 rupees, they are selling with the discount basis. If they are selling that 100 rupees worth of the shares for 110 rupees because of the demand for that company, then it will be called as the par value they are all selling. That is the equity shares, the shares which is equivalent to the ownership rights and the risk return is high for that investors. Then that kind of the shares will be called as equity shares. The advantage of this equity shares is to the investors is dividend they will get and the capital gain they are all getting. That too limited liability. That their responsibility is up to their investments only, and they have the control over the business activities. They have the right of the shares. That is, they can elect the owners and they can get the bonus on the shares are also. Liquidity is also easy and the stock splitting is very easy for the organizations. This is some of the importance of the equity shares. So whereas the disadvantages is anyhow, if the high risk occurs, then there also has to face that one and limited control over the with losses which is occurring by the organization. Residual claiming may not be possible. Residual claiming means is selling of that shares is that much of not easy, and fluctuation in market prices may leads to the more cost to the investors. Dividend is not fixed here. Based on this market profits and losses, they'll get the losses too, not only the profits. That is the advantages and disadvantages of equity share capital. Whereas the equity shareholder is going to be taking the high risk to avoid that one. If certain investors are all there and they are going to be enjoying the equity benefits as well as the debt features, then that shareholders will be called as preference shareholders. For example, if the share of the organization is 100 rupees, then if the preference person is going to be taking the risk of 50% preference shares means if the organization get 1 rupee of profit or 2 rupees of profit, 1 rupee, 50% and 2 rupees is 1 rupee is getting by the preference shareholder. Even if the organization get 2 rupees of the loss, 50% that means 1 rupee of the loss is only bearing by the preference shareholders. So they are also like equity shareholders, but a fixed returns is going to be getting for them, and dividend from profit after tax is going to be getting by that people, and managing dissertation over the payment and no fixed maturity period for them. So that is about the some of the features of these preference shareholders. And also they are going to be get as a debt means fixed income they are getting and no voting rights anyhow and fixed maturity time period. First the organization will pay to the preference than the equity. Then they have the share in the earnings. That's way. So they are also having the features of both debt and equity. So that is the preference share holdings. The debenture shareholders. Apart from the equity and the preference, the person who doesn't want to take the risk but who is expecting the fixed income for the investments, share investments of the organization, that investors will be called as the debenture shareholders. So, for example, if the organization share value is 100 rupees, the debenture shareholder will also get that share for the 100 rupees only. But he is expecting the interest rate as the returns. If the organization get the profits, they will get the interest rate only. Even if the organization get the losses are also, the debenture shareholder will get the return as in the form of the interest only, because he is not fixed for the losses or nowhere related to the losses. But anyhow, if the organization's net worth, that is, if its assets value is reducing or the business is getting the losses, they will faces the losses also in terms of their principal amount, but not in the every year they will get the interest amount. So that is the debenture shareholders, where its common characteristics is common seal. So they will also purchase this character. In the form of the shares only, they will purchase this one. It is anyhow borrowed funds, it will be treated, and written promise will be given by the organizations, and they can claim the income assets of the organization. It has the maturity period between 10 to 20 years, and other characteristics like power of control, fixed rate of interest, appointment of the trustees is some powers is there with for the debenture shareholders. Retained earnings means the earnings which is get gained, the earnings which is diverting from the gained of the organizations is called as a retained earnings. That is ROI, return on investment. So the organization has done some activity, they have gained the profits. In that profit, they need not to distribute the entire income. The amount which is distributing is called as dividend. Let us say organization has invested 100 crores of the capital, and they have going to be gaining the 1 or 2 crores of the benefits after 1 year. Means for the next year they can out of this 2 crores of the profits, for the next year 1 crore they can redirect. That is called as retained earnings. Remaining 1 crore they can distribute it to the investors in the form of the dividend as well as the interest rate. That is the distribution income. So the non-distribution income vexed with the organization is called as the retained earnings. This is the income which is using for the investors of the company, will mainly used to follow this predicted future dividends and prediction of the future increasing in the prices, and that too this kind of the retained earnings will be very easy for the organizations to acquire. So that's why that is the most common method of the companies to raise the funds easily within the internal sources. Apart from that one, the funds which are going to be contributing to business activities in terms of the short run is called as the bills or the bonds. Generally, the bonds will be of having the maturity time period of the short term and long term anyhow. So, but mostly the bills will have the maturity time period of 1 year only. For example, if the both are the promissory notes are only, and here the returns are all on discount rate basis. So if 1 lakh promissory note is there, this promissory note is having 10% discount rate. Means so 1 lakh 10,000 is the discount rate. So as an investor he has to invest 90,000. But if they have the maturity period of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months and 12 months. So if it is say, let us say it is 6 months bill, means after if they invest 90,000, after 6 months the investor will get a return of 1 lakh basis. So if that bills are all issuing by the government authorities like the state government or the central government, that bills will be called as treasury bills. If they are issuing by the corporate companies, they will be called as the commercial papers. If they are issuing by the banks, then that will be called as the certificate of authority, certificate of deposits. So that is the bills. And bonds, if we see, they are on basis of interest rate basis. If they issue the promissory notes, that will be called as the bonds, like state government securities, corporate bonds, and the central government securities, etc. will be on the basis of bonds. So that is about the bills, bonds, and short-term financial sources, and medium-term financial sources, and the long-term financial sources of the organization. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.